So I always get the question of how do you find time to invest in real estate? And I'm gonna answer that in this video, but before I get into that, I want to first just identify that I understand exactly where you're at. I understand for most of you, you're working in corporate America, while you are making a decent living, maybe you're making six figures or even multiple six figures. You understand that the more money that they give you, the more of your time that they take, right? And you just can't vacation your way out of there enough. You can't shop your way out of that reality enough. You can't eat your way out of that reality enough. You can't drink your way out of that reality enough. Like all roads lead back to the fact that they essentially own you, right? And so our whole modus operandi is figuring out how do we effectively own our income and our time. Well, real estate investing is a great catalyst to that, right? So I was fortunate myself to utilize real estate investing over the last 17 years, but more in particular, use it as the bridge to help me leave my corporate job at the age of 35 that I did many years ago. And what I want to tell you guys is the honest truth, okay? You're never going to have time for real estate investing. You're going to have to make time for real estate investing. Now, I know many of you are already probably, right? But here's the reality. If you don't make time for it, you're going to get more of what you already got, which is probably some decent money, but not the time and definitely not the lifestyle and freedom that you really want to have with your family, loved ones, and otherwise. And so because of that, it's not going to be handed to you. But here's the key, and this is the key that I learned along the way that probably cost me more time and money than anything else. It's not about the time that we make, it's the effectiveness of the time that we use. So we can get good at practicing the wrong thing, right? Because practice don't make perfect, perfect practice makes perfect. And so what I figured out, the accelerant for me to be able to go out and grow my real estate business exponentially was the fact that I finally went and paid and got a mentor. I went and got a system. I went and got a process. I went and got a network. I went and got some skill that helped me expedite what I had been doing for the first 7 or 8 years without a mentor, that continued to make mistakes, continued to lose money, continued to lose more time, and didn't really have a replicatable success model, right? It was a lot of random activity that may have ended in success, but as you guys know, right, you can't go out and replicate that. It's all by chance and happenstance. And so once I was able to finally go out and get proven systems that work, right, proven mentorship, coaching, network, all the rest of it, I was able to grow my business to $1 million plus in a relatively short period of time, right? We're talking a couple years. The key to that, though, was, again, getting up every day, understanding what my goals were, being intentional about the pursuit of those, and leveraging and making the highest, best use of my time. Now, will it be inconvenient? Absolutely. But going to work every day with no end in sight is also extremely inconvenient to what you would like your life to look like, right? We get so married to how we make our money instead of understanding that we can actually, our job is to provide, but our job is not to let a job dictate how we do that, right? And so myself, my students, we've been able to go out and pay for things with our creativity, right? That's essentially what it is when you learn the skill set of real estate investing, is being able to pay for things with your creativity, right? At one point, I own over 120 apartments, okay? And I just think about how 90% of those deals I put together using other people's money. Inside of our mentorship program, we got students in Denmark, Japan, Afghanistan, all throughout the States. 90% of them are doing their deals with no money out of pocket. And so I think about how people think that they have a money and a time problem, but you really just got a knowledge problem. And once you go out and get the right knowledge, then you can find yourself spending 8 to 10 hours a week building the future that you really want for yourself. And this whole idea of, I'm really trying to find balance. Listen, what you're trying to find is freedom. And in finding freedom, balance ain't a part of the equation. Now, once you find freedom, then you have the latitude to probably set your life up from in a vein of balance, if that's what you so choose to categorize it as. But I humbly believe that success in life is a rhythm. Faith is a rhythm. Success is a rhythm. There's always going to be, I was at TD Jake's leadership conference a couple years ago in North Carolina, and there was a lady there who is the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. I forget her name, but phenomenal woman. And she talked about how she looks at her life as a pie chart. And there's a diversification in that pie chart. No different than if you looked at your stock portfolio, right? Or your retirement portfolio, what have you, small cap, big cap, right? And there's different allocations based on your appetite for investment. And she looks at her life much the same. So at sometimes, there may be a larger allocation in the marriage bucket because it needs that attention. And then, there may be a shortening of the entertainment during that time, right? And then at other times, work is going to need a larger allocation. And so it becomes a diversification and a deliberate focus on what areas need the most attention at that point in time in that particular season, right? And I so subscribe to that. I think people that look for balance are looking for an idea of something that don't really exist. Not when you live in life to its fullest and you maxing out in every aspect of your life. To me, at some point, if you have quote unquote balance, that means you're settling somewhere. Because if you're playing all out in every aspect of your life, then there's going to be this constant need to keep all the plates spinning. And that requires rhythm, not balance, right? And so I say all that to say this, folks. You can absolutely go out and get the time freedom that you're seeking, right? We teach people how to do it every single day. It's all about being relentless about the life that you say you want. The income that they pay you, the salary that they pay you becomes a very convenient distraction from the life that you really want for yourself. And nobody's going to create that for you but you. And so regardless of how busy you are, I promise you, I was giving corporate America 60 hours a week between travel and me being a senior manager for this company. That was 60 hours. It's 168 in a week. I was putting another 30, 40 into my business. Now, my appetite was such that it required that type of level of attention and focus and time investment. But it also freed me from that environment at 35 years old too, right? And so maybe for you, it could be more incremental. Maybe it's 10 hours a week, but it's 10 hours of working on the right thing. Because what'll happen is when you know the right inputs to give your business, then the outputs will be happening in your absence. And so it's not a constant need for you to micromanage the process, right? It's just a function of you knowing what to do and insert those things at the appropriate time so that the business can start to perform in your absence, right? This is a large reason as to why we teach remote investing, right? Remote, a lot of people identify it as it doing it from afar, which I do, right? I live in Orlando. I own over 100 apartments in Michigan, 800 miles away. But at the very same time, deals that I do locally, I still set them up remotely because what it does is remove me from all of the day-to-day so that I can focus on the two most important things as an investor, as an owner. Raising more capital, finding more deals, right? And so if I got somebody else that's taking care of the rehabs, that's taking care of the contractors, that's taking care of just all the other, and I don't want to call it minutia to minimize it, but all the things that are more the day-to-day, then that frees me up to be the CEO of my business and have other people that are doing things that are requisite, but they're doing them on my behalf in my absence. And so if you guys want to learn how to do that, if you want to learn how to build a 6 and 7 figure business over the course of a year while working full time in corporate America or as a business owner, I highly recommend that you join our next 5-day challenge. Okay. Probably be a button, a link here in the description. Or you can go to www.iflipchallenge.com. And here's why it's so important. I'm going to be teaching you at this 5-day challenge. Okay. Number one, the difference between traditional and remote investing. Okay. Because remote investing is the thing that help expedite that, in tandem with mentorship, help expedite my exit from work, okay, at 35. On day 2, I'm going to teach you how to build a 7-figure business in 12 months, okay? It's not hocus pocus. It's some incremental steps that you need to take. I'm going to show you how to do that. On day 3, I'm going to reveal to you the psychology of becoming an OPM magnet. Even if you have your own money, as one of my wealthy mentors told me many years ago, every investor becomes cash strapped at some point. So I'm going to show you how to attract OPM so you can use other people's money and pick and choose where you like to use your own. On day 4, I'm going to teach you the time freedom cash flow formula, how to effectively buy your time back through real estate investing so that you don't have to invest so much of it in the corporate construct. Okay. It's essentially putting together your escape plan. And then on day 5, we're going to go over your customized investment plan, specifically catered to you and your goals. All right. In addition to each day, you're going to get to spend 1 hour with me in live coaching and ask me specifically the questions to help you move the needle most in your life. Okay. Now, before I leave, the only thing I ask, please like this, share this, leave a comment. Let me know is this helpful for you guys. And by all means, for those that want to come and learn how to build a 6 and 7 figure business using other people's money in a matter of 12 months, I'll see you at the challenge. Again, that's www.iflipchallenge.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.